Ask your motherfucking question. Huh? Listen to you fucking faggot.
Oh, man.
Shut the dick. He's good at it.
Fuck by night.
Radio host Erica Bain and her fiancé, Dr. David Kirmani, were out in the park walking their dog and playing a quick game of fetch. But when the ball rolled into a nearby tunnel, the couple got so caught up in conversation that they did not even notice their dog had wandered off. Realizing he was gone, they started searching frantically, calling his name until they heard faint barking in the distance. They finally spotted him, but before they could reach their pet, a stranger stepped out of the shadows with two other guys, one with a phone out, recording the whole thing. David immediately confronted them and demanded their dog back, but the ringleader just mocked him and out of nowhere, viciously attacked Erica.
Over here. Get out. Ready for your close up? Bitch!
She was rushed to the hospital in critical condition and slipped into a coma. Meanwhile, detectives Mercer and Vitale arrived at the hospital morgue to investigate an apparent suicide. Heading upstairs to speak with the victim's injured young daughter, Mercer brought the girl into an office for questioning. But before they could get far, her stepfather, Mr. Murrow, burst in, aggressively demanding to take her home. Mercer shut him down instantly, telling Murrow to lawyer up, already suspecting he was involved in his wife's death and knowing the stepdaughter was the key witness. Weeks later, Erica finally woke up from her coma and began a slow, painful recovery. But the heartbreak hit almost immediately when David's mother visited her, revealing that his funeral had taken place weeks ago. Devastated, Erica broke down, completely crushed that she had never see him again. Detectives soon stopped by to question her, but the trauma of the attack was so fresh that she could barely piece together any useful details. Once discharged, Erica retreated to her apartment, locking every deadbolt, isolating herself for days, and growing far too terrified to step outside. Summoning every ounce of courage she had left, Erica finally made it out the door and headed straight to the police station to check on her case. But the officer at the front desk just brushed her off, giving her a generic line to take a seat and wait. After a few minutes, she realized he was telling the exact same thing to every single person who walked through the door. Realizing no one was coming to save her, a frustrated Erica walked out, determined to take her safety into her own hands, and headed straight to a local gun shop to buy a weapon. However, without a permit, Erica was hit with the news that she'd have to wait 30 days just to buy a gun legally. Overhead her desperation, a shady guy in the shop offered her a shortcut. He'd sell her one right then and there for $1,000. He led her through a crowded market into a back alley, handed over a K9 pistol, quickly showed her the basics, and threw in some ammo to sweeten the deal. With cash exchanged, Erica walked away armed. That night, Erica stopped by a corner store to grab some snacks. Out of nowhere, an enraged man burst in, screamed at the clerk for not watching his kid, and shot her dead on the spot. Erica panicked and tried to hide in one of the aisles, but her phone suddenly rang, giving away her location. As the gunman prowled through the store hunting for witnesses, he walked right past her, and Erica drew her gun, firing 3 shots and striking him in the neck, leaving him bleeding out on the floor. She rushed over to the counter, yanked out the security tape, and bolted home, running straight to her bathroom to process what just happened. Moments later, detectives Mercer and Vitale rolled up to investigate the crime scene. They quickly noticed the security tape was gone, but the cash register had not been touched. Spotting that only one of the 3 shots actually hit the target, the detectives naturally assumed they were dealing with an inexperienced male shooter. That night, Erica rehearsed her script for the radio show, but the words felt hollow. They just did not reflect how she truly felt about New York after the attack. The next day, she headed back to work, even though her boss worried it was way too soon. But for Erica, getting back behind the mic was the only way to piece her life together. So he gave in and let her go live. As the air light turned red, she froze, completely paralyzed by the dark memories flooding back. Abandoning the script, Erica spoke straight from the heart, confessing that the city she loved had turned into a place of pure fear, a terror she had never known before. Her raw, unfiltered words instantly gripped everyone in the studio, including Detective Mercer, who was listening intently from his car. That evening, Erica visited David's grave, staying until nightfall. On her train ride home, She watched two thugs harass a guy listening to music and snatch his iPod. When an elderly man tried to step in, they beat him up too, throwing both men off the train. Realizing Erica was still sitting nearby, the thugs turned their attention to her, closing in with taunts. One of them pulled a knife, but Erica did not flinch. She calmly drew her gun and opened fire, taking them both down. 4 shots, 4 hits, 2 dead thugs. As she calmly stepped off the train, it hit her that she did not actually have to kill them, and she was unnerved by just how cold and composed she felt, even as police cars sped right past her. Ducking into a nearby bar restroom, she ripped off her hoodie and threw up, overcome by the reality of what she had just done. Meanwhile, Mercer and Vitale arrived on the scene, finding a dropped iPod that looked stolen, with none of the victims' cash touched. After washing up, Erica stepped back out into the night, but felt an irresistible pull to return to the crime scene. At that exact moment, Mercer was connecting the dots, noticing striking similarities between this hit and the corner store shooting. Convinced they were dealing with a vigilante who was only getting bolder, he headed toward the street where reporters were gathering and caught sight of Erica quietly slipping away. Mercer followed her, mentioning he knew he recognized her from somewhere. Erica casually gave him her name, brought up her radio show, and turned the tables by asking to interview him for her broadcast, prompting Mercer to drop it and walk away. Soon after, news broke across the city about a rogue vigilante roaming the streets. Hoping to identify the original owner and track down the shooter, Mercer handed the iPod over to Vitale for forensics. Back at work, Erica Boss dropped some huge news. Her raw, emotional broadcast had skyrocketed their ratings, and he pushed her to keep that same energy going. As she walked out of the building, she spotted Detective Mercer waiting right outside. She tried to turn around and avoid him, but Mercer called her back. He explained that he remembered seeing her at the hospital right after the attack, adding that both he and his ex-wife were huge fans of her show and were thrilled to have her back on the air. Mercer then revealed he had personally reviewed her case file, promising to catch the guys who did this to her, and officially agreed to do that interview she had asked for. They sat down for the interview, with Erica probing into how he analyzes crime scenes and what he really thought about the subway vigilante case taking over the news. Suddenly, Mercer spotted Mr. Murrow in the distance. Erica leaned in, speaking off the record to drop a bombshell. Murrow was a corrupt businessman and mobster who had murdered his own wife just to get full custody of his stepdaughter, the only witness to the crime. Mercer admitted his hands were tied legally, but off the record, he confessed a darker truth. Some people just get away with it, and what is done is done. Their conversation wrapped up with a heavy question from Erica. She asked Mercer how it felt the first time he ever shot someone. Instead of answering directly, Mercer handed her his business card, telling her to call him anytime, day or night. One night on her way home, a man sitting in a parked car called Erica over. As she approached the window, she spotted a half-unconscious girl slouched in the back seat and learned her name was Chloe. Realizing the driver was about to assault her, Erica drew her gun, holding him at gunpoint and forcing him to hand all his cash over to Chloe before getting the girl out of the car. Enraged, the driver gunned the engine, trying to run them both down, but Erica opened fire, causing the car to swerve out of control. In the violent chaos, the vehicle struck Chloe, pinning her underneath. Erica quickly dialed 911 and stayed in the shadows, watching from a distance as paramedics rushed Chloe away. When she returned home, her neighbor was sitting outside. Catching a glimpse of the blood smeared on Erica's cheek, the neighbor did not ask questions. She simply gave her a quiet, heavy warning to always know right from wrong. Later, Mercer held a press conference with Erica in attendance, announcing that the witness from the hit and run had regained consciousness and was ready to be questioned. The next morning at the studio, Erica Boss dropped a surprise on her. They were opening the phone lines so callers could chime in on the vigilante story. Even though Erica argued that her show was not built for live call-ins, her boss insisted, overriding her doubts to chase the skyrocketing ratings. Once the live broadcast started, the phone lines lit up. Call after call flooded in, with the vast majority of listeners praising the mystery vigilante as a hero, and a few even falsely claiming to be the killer themselves. Overwhelmed by a crushing wave of guilt, Erica left the studio and headed straight for the police station, fully intending to confess and turn herself in. But standing at the threshold, she faltered and walked away. Seeking a lifeline, she called Mercer just to talk, only to realize he had unwittingly lured her straight to Mr. Murrow building. After telling Mercer over the phone that Murrow had actually been kind to her back when she was just a guest on his show, Erica stepped into the elevator alongside Murrow, who failed to recognize her in the dim light. Following him out to his car, Erica confronted him head-on, asking if he ever thought about the wife he murdered. Enraged, Murrow grabbed a crowbar and brutally attacked her. Bleeding and battered, Erica fought back with terrifying resolve, overpowering him and throwing him off the rooftop to his death. Bleeding and exhausted, Erica stumbled back to her apartment, where her neighbor found her collapsed and helped her inside. Meanwhile, as Mercer examined Murrow murder scene, a subtle detail clicked, the distinct chime of an elevator he had heard in the background during his phone call with Erica. Back in the apartment, as her neighbor tended to her wounds, Erica broke down and admitted that she had killed someone. Without flinching, the neighbor simply assumed it must have been out of self-defense, asked zero questions, and quietly helped her wash away the blood. With suspicion mounting, Mercer invited Erica to the hospital under the guise of accompanying him while he questioned Chloe. Erica walked into the room, her heart pounding, and Chloe's eyes locked onto her instantly, with absolute recognition. But when Mercer pressed the girl for details about the night she was saved, Chloe looked Mercer dead in the eye and swore she had not seen anyone at all. After they stepped outside, Mercer pressed Erica on her sudden call from the night before, demanding to know where she had really been. But she brushed it off, calmly claiming she had gone straight to bed. Meanwhile, police tracked down the owner of the stolen iPod from the subway shooting. When questioned, the kid swore he had not seen a vigilante, insisting he only remembered an old man and a woman on the train. When investigators brought in a sketch artist to composite the subway killer based on witness descriptions, the drawing ended up looking like a famous celebrity. Mercer just shook his head, noting that scared witnesses almost always map famous faces onto unknown suspects. Later, Mercer showed up unexpectedly at Erica's apartment, holding up a piece of evidence. He revealed that a pawn shop owner had just tried to sell a ring belonging to one of the men who had brutally attacked her and David. Mercer explained they had snagged a suspect girlfriend trying to hawk it and needed Erica to identify the attacker in a police lineup. Though terrified of facing her past and initially refusing to go, Erica eventually caved and agreed to take a look. At the police station, Erica stared through the one-way mirror and instantly recognized the man who had brutally attacked her and killed David. Keeping her face completely blank, she lied to the detectives, denying that she knew him, and abruptly walked out. Mercer caught up with her by the elevator and took her out to eat. Over their meal, he brought up Murrow's mysterious death, the subway shooting, and dropped a bombshell. Police now suspected the vigilante was a woman. Looking her dead in the eye, Mercer quietly hinted that she was high on his list of suspects, warning her that if it came down to it, he would not hesitate to take her down regardless of how close they had become. After a heavy, suffocating silence, Erica walked away, not out of fear, but driven by a burning obsession for revenge. Bypassing the law entirely, she began pounding the pavement, hunting through local pawn shops to track down the woman who had tried to sell her ring. Meanwhile, Mercer called in a favor to trace Erica's phone records from the night Murrow died, confirming his worst suspicions. Her cell had hit the tower right at Murrow building. At the same time, Erica tracked down the specific pawn shop where her ring had surfaced and slipped the owner a thick bribe to squeeze out the woman's address. Following the lead, she called the woman's cell phone to confirm her identity before trailing her all the way back to her apartment. Corralled inside, Erica held her at gunpoint and demanded to know where her boyfriend was hiding. But the woman stubbornly refused to talk, breaking down as she confessed that she had actually witnessed the brutal attack on Erica and David, and was terrified that if she gave up her partner, Erica would murder her, too. Disappointed and empty-handed, Erica walked away, only to be caught off guard moments later when a text buzzed on her phone. The woman had sent a heartfelt apology, the exact address where her boyfriend was hiding, and a video file. Opening it, Erica was instantly crushed. It was a brutal recording of the attack that took David's life. Devastated, she broke down in tears, the overwhelming anguish hardening into absolute resolve. She forwarded the video to Mercer along with a quiet, final farewell message, then set out for revenge. Receiving the text, Mercer realized what she was about to do and bolted out the door, desperate to intercept her before she crossed the point of no return. Arriving at the secluded building, Erica slipped inside and caught sight of several men hanging out in an alley, holding her stolen dog. Reaching into her coat, she readied her gun and marched straight toward the gate where one of the men was gripping the leash.
Want some? I want my dog back.
The moment he looked up and spotted her, Erica pulled the trigger, dropping him dead on the spot and sending the rest of the gang scattering in sheer panic.
Wait, bitch! Who's the bitch now?
She moved deeper into the building to track down the last suspect, but was ambushed from behind by the very man who had murdered David. He pinned her down and began choking the life out of her until Mercer burst into the alley and tackled him off her.
Yes, I do! No! What are you gonna do, Mercer? Just shoot him then!
No, I don't do that shit. I investigate.
Mercer stepped between them, trying to talk her down, and gently took the weapon out of her hands.
If you're gonna use a gun, you make sure it's legal.
But in a sudden, deliberate choice, Mercer handed her his own police service weapon instead.
Just get me out of here! Don't let me fuck up!
Drained and resigned, Erica held out her hands to surrender, but Mercer refused to cuff her. Knowing standard justice had failed her, he told her to shoot him in the arm so he could cover up her presence and frame the crime scene as a police shootout. Realizing what he was sacrificing, she complied, pulling the trigger to wound him.
It was just 3 punks out on a killing spree.
My hands are shaking.
You just make sure you miss my heart.
Yeah, motherfuck that shit up.
After a quiet, final farewell, Mercer handed her back her untraceable gun and unclipped her dog, letting the animal run free to join her. As Erica slipped into the shadows, Mercer called in the shooting, reporting an officer-down scenario. Paramedics rushed to the scene shortly after, loading Mercer into an ambulance as Erica vanished into the city night.